Life Club with Tashima Jones, the podcast, brought to you by Tashima Jones Media. Keep in mind that this content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Welcome to another episode of Life Club with me, Tashima Jones. Today, we are focusing on self-talk, specifically the repetitive story you tell yourself. Have you ever noticed when it comes to certain topics or events, how you tend to have the same thoughts which yield the same reactions or actions? You will find that most of your thinking or how you think consists of the same overall ideas. And that's how it should be, right? It's called having a mindset. But what happens when what your mind is set to doesn't benefit you? Get your pens and journals ready as we discuss the inner monologue you recite, who it may actually belong to, and how to rewrite the script right here on Life Club. As always, when we know the definition of a thing, we are better equipped to using it properly. We have two words for today. Up first, we have think. To think is to say to one's self. This can be done inwardly within the mind or outwardly with speaking, hence the term thinking out loud. And next, we have monologue. A monologue is a long speech spoken by one person alone or to oneself. When we consider thinking, we have to distinguish the difference between thoughts and the act of thinking. Thoughts are ideas that come and go into your stream of consciousness. We become aware of thoughts and then have the option to think on those thoughts we are aware of. Thinking consists of considering, pondering, or meditating. When we choose a thought to actively think on, we come to a place where we either accept or reject the thought. Acceptance looks like learning something new, seeing things from a different perspective, or gaining clarity on a specific subject. Rejecting thoughts looks like forming an opinion or belief that is contrary to those thoughts. It can look like allowing the thought to slip away without even allowing it to be meditated upon. Either way, thinking on a thought tends to yield a conclusion. And those conclusions usually lead to actions. Actions or behaviors include speaking, physical responses, or even physiological responses. Based on the perception of the thoughts and the conclusions drawn, we eventually respond. While there is more to the subject of where thoughts come from, on this episode, we will focus on thoughts that derive from previous experiences and systems of culture, which lead us to today's topic. Whose inner monologue are you reciting? An inner monologue can be seen as the story you tell or repeat to yourself about yourself and or life overall. It is the core of your mind's meditation. It's what your mind is set to. Like a computer's operating system, the inner monologue is guiding your thinking, the thoughts you are attracted to, and your behavioral responses to those thoughts. It even influences your physiological responses. The reason why many aren't fully aware of the story they tell themselves is linked to the fact that this story may be 10, 20, or even 50 years old. When you listen to a song enough times, it's much easier to sing without hearing its original source. The same is true for the inner monologue. That story is usually rooted in past experiences with many writers. Writers may look like parents, family members, friends, previous partners, former colleagues, school teachers, society, culture. The list can continue. This can make it challenging to detach yourself from a negative storyline because you may actually believe that you are the author. Part of the reason we remember toxic experiences is a form of protection. The downfall of this is that the story we may believe or continue to write for ourselves can become filled with exit strategies, poor self-esteem, and lots of worry. How do we go from an unhealthy inner monologue to one that suits a healthier inner world? 3 things: recognize, rewrite, and replace. Recognize the story you're telling yourself, even if it wasn't written by you. Then consider the rewrite. Rewrite the narrative. Let this narrative be rooted in love and in truth. And last but not least, replace. Start to meditate on, consider, and ponder that rewrite. And do this until it becomes a part of who you are, like a pattern or string of code written within your mind, so much so that it becomes your default operating system or new narrative. Here is your life work. Based on this session, set aside at least 10 minutes to complete and reflect on the following. Take a moment to consider what you tell yourself about the following areas: self-image, purpose, and relationships. You can also include additional categories like health and finances. Now, allow these individual chapters to sit with each other. As a whole, what is the story you tell yourself? Feel free to write a summary of this story, and remember to be transparent with yourself. Next, acknowledge which chapters need to be rewritten and those that can remain the same. Write one sentence that summarizes each rewritten chapter. And going forward, take the sentences that summarize each rewritten chapter and read them to yourself on a daily basis. Be sure to journal your experience. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Life Club with me, Tashima Jones. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you were here with me, and for that, I am truly grateful. Be sure to share and subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you are tuning in from, and find me on YouTube at Tashima Jones Media for our 1-minute meditations and other video content. You're also invited to visit tashimajones.com for life coaching sessions, books, articles, courses, and free downloads. Until next time, remember your greatness. Talk soon.